We all remember the horror that was Assassin's Creed Unity. But now we are brought back to us with the comics of Assassin's Creed. Now, these comics should hopefully bring us a lot of light, and I am hoping high. We start off with the cover here. Now, this cover is a standard cover. I won't lie, it didn't leap out of me. It's the Assassin's Creed, that's why I picked it up, so I bought it. Anyway, jumping, we begin with racing. An assassin chasing, or you soon to be assassin chasing, some horse and carriage, and you introduce straight away to the ancestral feel of, as we all know, the games. And we do actually love, and we actually all enjoy the actual playing as the ancestors as part of the games. But there's like an online chat thing going on inside the actual game itself, which is pretty cool. I mean, at the end of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, or during Black Flag, we were working at Abstergo, so following on from the games, which is nice. And we now first time see our protagonist, Charlotte Dela Cruz. As you can see, typical slob. She's bright, the usual protagonist anti-hero story, I suppose. And we immediately see that she's got a bit of fire in her heart as she's having a go at her boss there. And then we get a load of exposition showing that she works at a bank, and she's not very happy with the job, and she's probably going to get fired because she's done what no smart, sensed employee would do, is give a crap ton of money to her grandma because she makes her feel sorry about it because of her uncle. Well, not her grandma, but an old lady. Anyway, she makes her way home, calling herself Robin Hood. But then she's meted by two strangers in her apartment. Now, this would freak anybody out. But these strangers tell her that they're from the Brotherhood, i.e. the Assassins, and she does what any of us do. Yay! I knew it. She turns into a sassy, not black woman. Maybe, I don't know. She looks a bit black, a little bit Mexican, but her ancestors white. She says that she actually makes a reference to that later on, which is quite amusing actually. Anyway, there's a knock at her door. Turns out it's the Templars trying to chase her. They escape. She jumps over the ledge and blacks out. She wakes up in a nice new desert environment, and she's greeted immediately by saying, "Into the Animus you go," which is all a lovely, lovely thing, which is all we all know exactly that feeling of waking up and being thrown into a dreamlike state. It gets explained to her. There's a bit of debate whether she's going so soon, whether she's ready for it. Kind of like how it was with Desmond, and she just goes, "Screw it, I'm in." Goes in. And she's in there for the whole of 2 minutes, because you see here, we've got the ancestor, we see her go in, she tries to make him do something he doesn't want to do. Wait, that's that's Wolverine. Right, from his moment forth, you shall be henceforth known as Logan in Salem Witch Trials. Anyway, going back to the issue, and then she wakes up and vomits everywhere. She goes a bit fire-hearted, says not staying out, goes back in, and it ends with a young girl getting hung by the neck in the time of Salem and witches, and that is essentially issue 1. It's very much quick, get the characters in, quick, get the things in, get the story in place, go, 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 feels very rushed. I mean, don't get me wrong, the comic and the artistry behind looks fantastic, but it does feel very, very rushed. And here we go to issue 2. Now, I picked up the variant cover, cover A for this one, because I preferred it. And then we go back into the story of Salem Witch Trials. Briefly, the story did explain, last issue, that the whole point of this is there's been an assassin of theirs, Joseph, who has apparently gone traitorous. Traitor! Who's gone traitorous, and they're trying to find out if he has. This guy Joseph is saying he hasn't turned into a traitor. They're not too convinced. So they're doing this because her ancestor knows where Piece of Eden is. So they're trying to find the Piece of Eden before the Templars do, as is with every single other Assassin's Creed game ever. You think the comics could bring us something a bit different. That's another rant for another time, though. Going to the Salem Witch Trials era. Guys, gentlemen, we meet our assassin protagonist here. Goodman, as he's referred to for most of this. And he's meted by two gentlemen who know the secret code, however gets one of the codes wrong, and he sandblasts them with sand. And he's about to get assassinated, then he's saved by a nice, lovely looking young lady after he beats them up. Move on, it's the typical don't get along at first, hate each other's guts, don't agree. Later on, I'm sure in a few issues time they'll hook up, but right now not so much. It's typical stuff. And then we meet our villains, and our villains couldn't look any more like a nasty villain pair if they tried any harder. Anyway, it kind of goes a bit forward here. Near enough straight away it goes them to night time, about to break into the place where they've just seen them, which does feel quite rushed, I won't lie. However, they break into this place, beat a few people up, and then they don't know where to go. It's an empty room, it's an empty house. But there we go, there we have it. He sees the fireplace, realises that it's called themselves the Fire of Light, pours water over, and there we go, hidden entrance behind the fireplace to the Batcave. Cue Batman.
Holy tip-off's Joker!
Exactly, and I think you better continue your education at the Park Gallery as Robin. To the Bat Pulse.
What happened to the signs, Bruce?
Alfred removed them to put a new coat of paint on the Bat Pulse.
Good old Alfred.
So they work their way down the spiral staircase, and then they go to a massive tunnel full of children in cages, as they should be. Kidding, everyone, kidding. I love children. No, wait, no, kidding. Wait, no, kidding is kidding. No, joking. I'm joking about that whole thing. Just stop, Sean. Just stop. Back onto track. One of the little girls mentions about the Piece of Eden, gets his interest, breaks her out, says, "What do you know?" "I know where it is," she says. "Well, show me the way. Take me down that dark hole, young child." That's a bit rapey. Next thing we know, we go back to the villains, these Templars, who have realised that they've been broken into, so rather than going out and killing themselves, they convince the town that they are devils, spawn witches, and make them chase after them. And then he smiles. In the most grinchy, smiley way possible. Oh dear Lord, is that creepy.
Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
Anyway, they make their way down, kill the devil, and he has to start beating them up. However, he's monologuing to himself that he hates it because of the way how the Assassin's Brotherhood must never kill an innocent, even if they try and kill you. Meanwhile, in the real world, we cut to them arguing whether she's ready, because she's struggling a bit in the bed. So there are these characters who we have learnt nothing about so far, other than a couple of names. One of them's called Xavier. There's a blonde girl. We really don't learn much about them at all, and yet they're trying to make us, I don't know, feel something that they're arguing, but we don't. We've spent like 2 seconds with these people. We're not going to feel something towards people who are arguing when we have no idea who they are. We've not clicked with any of them. All we know about these people is they don't get on. Whoop-de-doo! Anyway, back into the Animus. This little girl goes into the Exorcist, and it turns out she is the Piece of Eden, because she starts talking Roman, or Latin should I say. Let's see what she actually says. Considerate la vostra semenza, fati non fosti a viva, combruti ma per sangue veruti e consonsenza. which meaning, if your text is a bit too small for you, consider your origin. You are not formed to live like a brute, but to follow virtue and knowledge. That referencing the assassins, as you don't, anyone who doesn't actually know what the creed is, what assassin is, this is actually going back to Altair being Lahad. In the first game, everyone used to shout assassin, spelt A-S-S-A-S-S-E-E-N. Assassin was guardian of knowledge, hence why it was all eagles and everything. It was guardians of knowledge. That's where the term assassin in the Assassin's Creed comes from. That's obviously referencing the assassins there. This little girl wakes up after he realizes and they're broken in, so as he tells her to protect her, get her out of there, he turns to fight. That was the end of issue 2. Now, issue 2 was a lot more thrilling, a lot more joyful. That's definitely where it starts picking up. I feel a sense of it falling into the same trap already at this point, because it's falling to the trap of the games where you feel more for the people in the Animus, not for the main protagonist as you should. For example, Desmond, we all kind of like Desmond. It got a bit meh later on when it went to America, but that was just the gameplay. But none of us really cared so much about Desmond. At times it got a bit boring, got a bit tedious. Same with Black Flag. We enjoyed Black Flag, the gameplay, but when we had to go out into Abstergo, again a bit tedious. And then they just left it out entirely with Syndicate. Syndicate was literally just in the Animus itself. Into issue 3. Again, we have the cover. The cover this issue is a bit misleading. It involves the gallows at all, none whatsoever. Well, it may do later on, but still, in this issue there isn't there. Goodman is fighting the people, trying to just knocking them out, trying not to kill them, while telling her to get them out. She takes him, and she's looking for a secret door by the looks of things, because she's got the little girl lay down, and she detects wind against her hair. He says, "Get her out of here! Get her out of here! Let's go! Just after she's found a secret door.
And an air current. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Yay.
And then it cuts to them in the field. What's happening? Not much happens here. I'm not gonna show it because I want you guys to read it properly. But there's not too much that happens here. They're literally just walking through a field. There's a little boy with them, slowing them down, and Goodman's there going, "No, focus on the mission. Leave the boy behind. He'll look after himself. Here's a feather. Go do what you want. Our mission is the girl." And obviously, the lady, the other assassin, who was a nurse. Sorry, I failed to mention that, but she was a nurse. We can't let him go. Anyway, they argue. Next thing you know, bang! He has to go, and he abandons her. Problem is, she gets shot. Yeah, not nice. And he screams after her, but he's still focused on the mission. He's a very good soldier, I'll give him that. He's a very good soldier with mutton chops, lovely mutton chops. And he's there like, "Damn you, nurse! Damn you, nurse!" And takes the little girl, marches across. Now, this little girl kind of pulls an Assassin's Creed 3 on us here. Remember when the lady talked to Connor, but actually talked to Desmond? Same thing happens here. Talks to our protagonist, Charlotte Dela Cruz, through the Animus, and Goodman's just there like, what the fuck? And yeah, next thing you know, this little girl wakes up, and Goodman gets schooled by the little girl, saying, "You need to find a wife, essentially. Go get laid." And meanwhile, in the real world, we need to go! Something's happened. Joseph has told them that where they are, because apparently he is actually a traitor, as it turns out. He's not some triple agent, he's just a traitor.
Ocean man, take me
behind, lead me to the night.
They're arguing, gun gets pulled out. Again, lots and lots of stuff about characters we know very little about, characters we care very little about. Eventually, Xavier cuts in saying, guys, the Animus is jerry-rigged, we can go. We don't have to wait for them. Oh, should have levered that dude. Anyway, they burn the place down. She's this blonde lady who we know very little about is very determined to kill this Joseph character we're hearing a lot about. And back into the Animus after you've been hooked up and hooked in. Okay, just jump you back in. The Goodman's got the little girl. They make their way to the ship. They see the ship. Next thing you know, Templars are riding. And after they duck down, there is Good Nurse is behind them. Goodman, Good Nurse. That's how they're going to be referred to, by the way. Good Nurse is behind. And the little girl greets. Eventually, though, he queries how did they escape. And yeah, it doesn't go down well. They don't believe her at all. They get into a fight. Turns out that it was actually a plan. It wasn't a double cross. It was because he'd convinced her to leave the boy and abandon the boy. That actually led the Templars to them. And we're left with the Templars smiling creepily, just like the painting in Ghostbusters 2. And that is the issues, 1, 2 and 3. Where it's heading, I think it's got a lot of potential. I'm a bit nervous because they can very, very easily mess this up at this point. Because it's not perfect. It's enjoyable. It's very good. It's not perfect. Action, art, brilliant, yes. Brilliant, yes. Action, art. However, I did have to force myself in places to read through because it did get a bit dulling and hard to follow the switching between the Animus. So I enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to continue reading. But however, not sure if it's for everyone. I'd say this is more a comic for the Assassin's Creed fans. I don't think anyone could pick up and read this. And I think that's going to limit the market. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm enjoying it, but again, I am an Assassin's Creed fan. I have got an Assassin's Creed tattoo. But this is going to harm a lot of people if they're not really into the franchise. I don't think this is going to pull them in a bit more. I think this is going to be more for the people who already still enjoy the franchise. So I'm going to give this issue a 6.5 out of 10. I did want to give it more, but I can't. Anyway, this has been Sean from CRAA-Nation. If you guys would be so kind, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe and share. Get our content out there for all to enjoy. And see you all guys next time. May the power protect always.